in a continuing 7 decades riot of wasteful consumption, we have in fact already spent on ourselves the income that another 4 generations will earn through hard and servile labor. For that is the way the global system appears to be heading. Our great-grandchildren will be paying off the debt that we have amassed, while their contemporaries of other nations will enjoy the fruits of that their forefathers saved. With a comprehensive tragedy staring us in the face, we have gathered to focus on one grievous situation facing us. Well, what is that grievous situation? The unprecedented and outright refusal of the government to, 1, abide by orders of the Supreme Court of Pakistan, 2, hold elections to provincial assemblies within 90 days period expressly prescribed in the Constitution. The issue before us is whether that 90-day period is mandatory or not. We believe it is mandatory. We also believe that these elections are the real issue and that Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif desires to avoid, and other matters such as formation of benches, roster fixation, and are obvious distractions to detract from the central core issue. The apparent attack upon the judicial edifice from within and without, and the persons responsible for it, be they judges themselves, administrators or political parties, the constitutional controversies which have fractured the body politic and even caused schisms among the justices, mainly on the questions of bench formation, roster fixation, role of judges as politicians wearing robes, judges themselves in due deliberation in the first instance, and not by any institution other than the judiciary itself, and not in indecent haste. The role of the legislature and some political parties has also been divisive, negative and bullish, and or opportunistic in this situation insofar as the divide in the judiciary appears to be more on account of personal linkages with parties and personal egos than on principle. The divide has created a situation of the nature that divided and egos in 1997 with disastrous effects. The present situation appears worse, however. The polarization of the judges is now to the extent that today, upon the mere composition of the bench, a citizen is able to predict the outcome, the ultimate outcome in the case. That is why a controversy could be created whether 7 or 5 judges sat on a bench that passed the Supreme Court's final order dated 1st March 2023, which is yet to be obeyed and implemented. One faction believes that it should have been 7 judges. The other, that it was indeed and in reality only 5 judges, as only 5 judges heard the argument of the parties and were competent to pass the final order by a majority of 3 against 2. A divided and weakened Supreme Court has been unable to bring heed such wanton acts of sheer contempt and disregard for the dignity of the apex court as to display huge billboards carrying portraits of sitting Superior Court judges and naming and shaming them in large public meetings. Elections to the Punjab and KPK assemblies remain the real and root cause of the present disputed and ugly imbroglio. These elections must be held at the soonest because 90 days have expired on 14th of April 2023, Punjab, and will on 18th April 2023, KPK. A basic right has thus arisen in every Punjabi and KPK voter to cast his or her vote within 90 days stipulated period. All Pakistanis, irrespective of rank and status, are bound to do their duty towards that purpose. The Cabinet's recourse to legislation appears to be mala fide, intended only to avoid an electoral contest and to devise a method to evade elections. The court should examine that, summon those purporting to provide means to delay or avoid the elections. If institutional respect is nevertheless to be given to the legislature, those who have decided outside the legislative process to prevent action in accordance with the court's direction, including, among others, the Prime Minister, the Law Minister, and the Interior Minister, must be summoned to determine responsibility and blame for violating the Constitution and of the contempt of the court's orders. To avoid elections to Punjab and KPK assemblies, the government has come up with another novel pretext. It says that it is more convenient always to hold elections to all assemblies on the same day, even if one of the first 5 assemblies has been dissolved 3 years before its term is over. The issues that arise are fraught with dangers to democracy and the federation. Will the province with the dissolved assembly be kept bereft of a government by the chosen representatives for 3 years? Or will the other 4 assemblies be dissolved together to hold elections to all 5 on the same day? It will not be taken, will it not be taken as the revival of the one unit against which the people, especially of the smaller provinces, struggled from 1956 to 1989 until they were able to create a federal structure enshrined in the Constitution in 1973. Oh, yeah. Therefore, we believe that elections to the Punjab and KPK assemblies be held at once as per the dictates of the Constitution as elucidated in the Supreme Court order March 2023 and read with the order dated 4th of April 2023.
Number two.
That the issues internal to the Supreme Court of Pakistan be decided by the judges themselves through the Committee of Judges, mutual respect, due recognition of status, propriety, and dignity behoving judges of the highest court of the land.
Without any interference from any parliament.
Any permissible legislation to regulate the court or its processes ought not to be deployed to destroy the court, its independence, its dignity and authority. We therefore believe that as lawyers, we are the officers of the courts in Pakistan. As such, we are the primary stakeholders in the functioning of the courts according to the Constitution and the law as independent bulwark of the rights of the people of Pakistan, particularly the poor and the deprived. We thus need a strong court acting within the Constitution and according to the oath taken by the judges at all times. Insofar as the courts continue to do so, we will always support them without reservations, fear or favor. And the elections must be held in time in accordance with the Constitution.
And we call upon the Election Commission.
And we therefore call upon all the authorities in Pakistan to abide by the Constitution and hold free, fair and transparent elections in accordance with the Constitution. Thank you very much. And now I put it to the House. Those who are in favor of the resolution. Now Aslam Dar Sahab will dua akhir mein.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammadin kama sallaita ala Ibrahima wa ala ali Ibrahima innaka Hamidum Majid.
लाहौर में सीनियर वकला के इस वक्त जो कॉन्फ्रेंस है उसमें करारदाद पेश कर दी गई है और करारदाद को वकला ने मंजूर भी कर लिया है। सीनियर वकला की जानिब से आज गोल मेज़ कॉन्फ्रेंस रखी गई थी जिसमें आइन और कानून के मामलात के हवाले से सैर हासिल गुफ्तगू की गई।
इंटरव्यू है, फटाफट तैयार हो जाओ।
हेयर शेव के लिए तैयार। वही पुराना रेजर? ओह नो, नसीम को कट लग गया। ये मैच कौन सेव करेगा? आया है एक नया खिलाड़ी, जिलेट ब्लू 3 फ्लेक्सी। इसमें है लूब्रा स्ट्रिप और फ्लेक्सी हेड जो दे सबसे आरामदेह शेव, फटाफट पूरे 7 शेव्स तक। हाउ's that? जिलेट ब्लू 3 फ्लेक्सी अब सुपर लॉक पैक में। इस ईद टेलीनॉर मंथली एक्सट्रीम प्लस ऑफर से पाओ पूरे महीने के लिए 80 GB डेटा, 10,000 टेलीनॉर मिनट्स एंड SMS, 600 अदर नेटवर्क मिनट्स सिर्फ 1250 रुपए में। अभी अपने करीबी रिटेलर से ऑफर लगवाएं।
क्यों हम तोहफों को रैप करके देते हैं? बचपन की यादों को क्यों एक स्पेशल बॉक्स में अच्छे से पैक करके रखते हैं? क्योंकि पैक्ड का मतलब प्रोटेक्टेड। इसी तरह सबरोसो दे आपको पैक प्रोटेक्टेड क्वालिटी और हाइजीनिक चिकन प्रोडक्ट्स जिनकी ग़िज़ाइयत और फ्रेशनेस को किया जाता है लॉक इंडिविजुअल क्विक फ्रीजिंग टेक्नोलॉजी के साथ। सबरोसो, व्हेन इट्स लव, इट्स पैक्ड।
ओह, समोसे?
हाँ, तुम्हारी भी इफ्तारी है, आराम से करो।
चलो इस रमजान बहाने बहाने से करें उनका एहसास जो हमेशा रहते हैं दिल के पास। कश्मीर कुकिंग ऑयल एंड बनस्पति, खाना तो बहाना है।
आज ना मुमकिन को मुमकिन बनाएगा मेरा हीरो।
कुआं चाहे जिंदगी का हो या मौत हो, मजबूती और ग्रिप दोनों ही जरूरी है। और ये देता है पैंथर टायर। हीरो मैं नहीं, पैंथर टायर है
जो आपको दे स्ट्रॉन्गर ग्रिप, हैवी लोड बेयरिंग कैपेसिटी और चले लंबे अरसे तक।
पैंथर टायर्स, लेवल ही और है।
झलक हैंड एंड फुट ब्यूटी क्रीम, आपके हाथों और पाँव को मिले परफेक्ट ग्लो और स्मूथ सॉफ्टनेस।
मैं रहूं हमेशा रेडी और 100% ब्यूटीफुल। ये झलक है ग्लो वाली।
हालिया बारिशों में सैलाब
जबरदस्त इन्वेस्टमेंट है। एक तो सवारी की सवारी, ऊपर से मुनाफा भी देके जाती है।
ये तो तेरे प्रॉफिट पर डेंट पड़ गया, इसीलिए कहता था सही जगह इन्वेस्ट कर।
तो और कहाँ करूँ इन्वेस्ट? ये देखो,
तो मरीना स्पोर्ट सिटी रेजिडेंशियल में 3, 5, 10 मरला या 1 कनाल का कोई भी प्लॉट बुक कराएं और पाइए अपनी इन्वेस्टमेंट पर 30% तक कंफर्म मुनाफा। तो इंतजार किस बात का है, अभी फोन उठाइए
और अपना प्लॉट बुक करवाएं।